first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. The thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film.
So, I hate to break it to you, but the perfect manifestation technique does not exist. It does not exist at all. It kind of does, but not in the way that you're thinking. Now, take this from me. I tried every technique in the book. I tried subliminals. I tried hypnosis. I tried affirmations. I tried it all. And I read a bunch of books from Dolores Cannon, Napoleon Hill, Neville Goddard, Esther Hicks, Jerry Hicks, all of it. I read the heavy hitters. And I'm trying to tell you that the one thing that I'm thinking about, the technique that's not a technique, is the greatest of all. Everything else pales in comparison. Now, you don't have to believe me, but I spent hundreds and I spent thousands of dollars on learning about this kind of stuff. I even have a bachelor's degree in metaphysical science, so that's a little interesting tidbit about me. And I started my manifestation journey, or I just started this journey of enlightening myself back in 2018, early 2019. So I've been at this for a while. Even before this channel, I had another channel talking about similar topics, and that went nowhere. I kid you not. I uploaded 30 something, 40 something videos. I got stuck at 18 subscribers. Even now, I'm right on the cusp of 400. I think right now, as I'm recording, I have 399. And that's amazing to see, especially that I only uploaded around 11 videos. So thank you guys for that. I never said that before. But back to what I was saying. You find that a lot of these techniques may or may not work for you, but it all comes back to your belief systems. What do you believe about yourself, and what do you believe is possible for yourself? Now, as a disclaimer, I said that there's no perfect technique. That's slightly because every technique works the same. Now, some people might disagree with me on this, but you have to understand that the rules of your reality, not the rules of the world, the rules of your reality are all dependent on how much you believe something. It's as simple as that. If you believe the best way to lose weight is a certain diet, let's say if you believe that the best way to lose weight is a carnivore diet, you will naturally see more results from the carnivore diet than being a vegan. Why? It's because your belief system aligns with it. It's as simple as that. And the funniest part is, you don't have to be aware of your beliefs for them to reign true, because all of our beliefs, if not most of them, are hidden in our subconscious mind. They're below the surface, so we're not even aware of them. But they're still taking place, and they're still working 24/7, 365. So if you have not been seeing any results in what you have been doing, it comes down to one or two things, or it could be both. First thing is that you just don't believe in the technique enough. And then second, or in conjunction, you don't believe in yourself enough to create change in your life. True and everlasting change on top of that. If you see anybody struggling, or even for yourself, if you find yourself struggling, you have to realize that you just don't have a belief system that aligns with what you're trying to do. You see, life is not perfect. Life can have its peaks and valleys, but it's not meant to be as hard as some people make it out to be. It's just that we choose these experiences so we can learn. One of the biggest flaws in our community is that people think that manifestation is a deliberate technique that you have to apply, and people convey it as that because they're misinformed as well. You see, manifestation goes on 24/7. Manifestation is just like breathing. You do it even when you're not aware of it. When you don't even think about it, you're still breathing. And when you're not even thinking about it, you're still emitting energy from your body. You see, that emitted energy is the projection of your internal self onto the world, literally, figuratively, and metaphorically, and metaphysically. So you're always sending energy out to the world. So if you're always sending the energy out, yeah, you can spend 10 to 15 or even 30 minutes on a focused session of manifesting, but wouldn't it be more wise to find a way to manifest 24/7? And that's where the technique comes in. Now, this is no slight to the people who spend deliberate time manifesting, because that is a very important thing to do too as well. Sometimes it's what's necessary. But you got to understand that if you think that only setting up specific time to do that is the way, then you're greatly misinformed. The technique that I was referring to, which is not really a technique, but it's just the idea of being who you want to be in the future right now. Neville Goddard famously coined it as living in the end. I just call it being. When you be something, when you are something, you don't have to try. You don't have to do, you just are. I'll pose this question to you. Let's take two people and we both ask them to get $1 million in their hand. One person's broke, one person's already a millionaire. Who's gonna have the easier time getting the $1 million in their hand? Of course, it's the person that's already a millionaire. Now, you might think, oh, that makes sense. What does it have to do with anything? But you got to understand that that person who's a millionaire is a millionaire because they viewed themselves as capable, if not already a millionaire before they got it. And the person that's broke doesn't see themselves capable of doing that. So if you pose the question to them, okay, I need you to go get me $1 million, or I need you to make $1 million for yourself, they would be frightened. They would be scared. They'd be like, how the fuck do I do that? And the only reason that they're scared is because they don't have the belief in themselves to do it. Now, it's granted, why would they have the belief? But that's just how the world works. Think about it. There are a bunch of people who have confidence that you don't even have to give them any reassurance. They were born with this confidence, and most of us are. But why is it that they have confidence when they have no reason to back it up? It's the same idea of you don't need anything outside of yourself to feel worthy. Why would I need proof to feel confident in myself? And why would I need proof to believe I can do something when I know all possibilities are available to everybody, because all men are created equal? All people are created equal. When you are something, you don't have to do anything about it. You don't have to try. The only way you can be this person is if you have the correct belief system that aligns with it. Now, think about people who try their hardest to get where they want to go, but they just happen to plateau, or even worse, they self-sabotage. Do you know why this is? Like I said before, you can't outwork your belief systems. So what happens is they find themselves in a position where they see progress, they see results, but their belief systems are so strong, their beliefs have to come forth and express themselves to the point where you find them actually doing things that purposely sabotage them, or they find themselves in situations where life shows them roadblocks that pushes them back to where they were before. Now, you might call this coincidence, but this is the reality of not my world, but their world. It's the reality of their world and not your world. We all live in our own reality because everybody has a varying opinion, but those varying opinions come from our belief systems. So if you are somebody who self-sabotage, and me, listen, I'm not perfect either. I self-sabotage sometimes too. If you have those experiences, it's simply because the belief system that you have within doesn't align with where you're going to go. So if you find yourself self-sabotaging, forgive yourself a little bit. It's simply that you don't have a belief system that aligns with what you're trying to go. And that's fine. But now that you're aware of it, it's time to make that change for it. In my eyes, the easiest way to do that is just to be, like I said before. When you be something, when you are something, you don't have to do anything. And I'm going to keep on saying this, but I want you to really think about it. If I am already what I want to be, why would I manifest? If I'm already where I want to be, why would I manifest? I can almost say that manifesting is for people who are not there, but being is for people that are already there. People have put too much energy into manifesting, and by putting so much energy into manifesting, they're only affirming what they don't have. And when you affirm what you don't have, you're going to see more examples of it. But when you already are what you want to be, you're going to see more examples of that, because like attracts like. Reality will always reflect what your heart feels about you internally. Now, if the idea of just being who you want to be is too much, and you still want to choose a technique per se, then go ahead. But you have to remember that if you want the technique to work, you need to believe in it with no doubt. You need to believe in it, and believe in it so strong that you can't mess up when you do it. One of the biggest reasons why people don't see results is that they ask themselves, am I doing this correctly? If you have to question if you're doing something correctly, that means you have doubt in your technique. You have doubt in your effort. And if you have doubt in your effort, why would you see results? You see how all these things are perfectly weaved together and interconnected? It's a belief system for a reason. They all work together. So if you want the most out of any technique that you're doing, you simply have to believe that whatever you're doing is correct. Don't question it at all. You almost want to brainwash yourself to the idea that what you're doing is 100% flawless. And here's the kicker. If you find yourself doing what I told you to do, but you still didn't see results, it's because you still have a misunderstanding of how this thing works. Manifestation is always happening, like I said, 24/7. So it's happening even when you don't see it. If you plant a seed into the ground, it's going to be a while before the seed grows to above and past the dirt level. But it is still working even when you don't see it. All these internal beliefs that you have are working for you or against you right now in this very moment, whether you know it or not. All the organs that you have in your body are operating without your conscious command or without your conscious awareness. So to doubt that it's working is to be ignorant to the process of how life works. Life works behind the scenes before you see it in front of your face. Everything is done behind the scenes before you see it on the big screen. So have a little bit of patience, have a little bit of practice. Also have a little bit of compassion for yourself. You got to think that you've been doing this, you've been being this way for so long that it may not be an instant thing to change. If I've been doing something for 20 years, of course, it's going to feel like a massive shift to just change it overnight. And you can't expect that out of yourself because that's not enough grace. And you can't expect that out of yourself because you're not showing yourself any grace. You're not giving yourself any space to grow and learn and evolve. So remember, manifestation is instant, but progress isn't linear. Same thing with life. If I'm climbing a mountain, sometimes I have to go down just to go back up higher. So in the end, what I have to tell you, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, man. You just need to trust in your higher power, whether it be God, universe, Allah, Buddha, whoever. And trust in yourself. Because no matter what they tell you, I don't care what religion you are, the belief in yourself is paramount. Because if you don't believe you can do it, then who else will? It's as simple as that.
I'd like to make you stay. I'd like to make you stay. I'd like, if you don't know